find the secant of negative 5 pi over 4. First thing you can do here is use the definition of the secant, which is 1 over the cosine. And then we're going to figure out the cosine of negative 5 pi divided by 4 using the winding function. So this means that we have to find the angle negative 5 pi over 4. Usually we measure angles in this direction. Because this is a negative, we want to go 5 pi over 4. Now you remember that pi over 4 is the same as 45 degrees. So here is 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, negative 4 pi over 4, and 5 pi over 4. So we can mark this angle right there, and that is the angle negative 5 pi over 4. We want to figure out what the cosine and sine are here in this case. In this case, you go negative 1 over the square root of 2 and then positive 1 over the square root of 2. The first is the cosine of negative 5 pi over 4. The second is the sine of negative 5 pi over 4. We want the cosine of negative 5 pi over 4. So we want to put a negative 1 over the square root of 2 into there. And when you take 1 divided by negative 1 over the square root of 2, you get negative square root of 2. So in this case, if you want it as a decimal, you could say negative 1.414 is the secant of negative 5 pi over 4, and that's the value you'll get when you work this out on a calculator.